In LA this week,
I'm Anna Marcos. The Screen Actors Guild Awards are known for their red carpets, but now they're also helping to make LA greener. That's coming up.
An airline with the most non-stop 787 Dreamliner routes between China and North America comes to LAX. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
It was a few years.
Overdue library books? No problem. You can have all previous fines stricken from the record books if you return those works within a 2-week period in February. I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. A $50,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the driver who ran over a grandfather, then bolted from the scene. Gil Reyes has more from Harbor Gateway.
Police need help finding the driver who ran over and killed 82-year-old Jun Taek Nam, a Korean Army veteran who proudly served alongside the U.S. military during the Vietnam War. Nam would later move to America and Southern California permanently.
He gave up his entire identity and had a much tougher life for himself and my mother so that his kids and his grandchildren could have a much better life. And that's the story of a lot of immigrants that come here.
It's a story that ends tragically. Police say Nam was killed as he tried to cross the street on January 7th. It happened near Vermont Avenue and Francisco Street in the Harbor Gateway area. Police say Nam was walking to church, as he did almost every morning, when he was hit.
Someone left Mr. Nam to die in this street and failing to stop at a scene of an accident. And that's what it was, an accident, until the coward left and made it a crime.
The suspect's car is described as a dark blue or purple late model Dodge Challenger, similar to this one. Authorities are offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the driver. Meantime, Nam's son suggests changes on the stretch of road near the church.
There's no crosswalk for quarter of a mile, and the cars are like always speeding. There should be some kind of warning.
Not to mention justice for a grieving family. In Harbor Gateway, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Anyone with additional information on this case is urged to call police at 877 LAPD 24/7. Well, LA is one step closer to becoming an Olympic destination in 2024. City leaders have just announced their top venues in the city, should the City of Angels get the Olympic nod. Here's Anna Marcos with more.
LA is a front runner to host the 2024 Summer Olympics, and city leaders believe it would make the ideal host with its sunny climate, global diversity, and Olympic and leisure amenities. In fact, over 1,000 Olympic athletes already live in Southern California.
In fact, Dawn Harper Nelson is training for Rio 2016 right here at Drake. She actually just trained and ran up the stairs to come to this press conference, the same training grounds that produced Jackie Joyner-Kersee and Rayford Johnson.
We all decide every single day that this is where we want to hit the track to push forward.
City leaders promised to have the most athlete-oriented Olympics ever, and now they've announced 2 top venues for LA's proposed Olympic plan. USC would be home to Media Village, where news outlets from around the globe would convene and stay, and UCLA would host the Olympic Village and all the athletes.
Having UCLA serve as home to the 2024 Olympic Village will be a great boost to the local economy and will be enjoyable for everyone who attends.
LA is competing against several cities, including Paris, Rome, and Budapest, for Olympic honors.
This is the greatest city on the planet, and it is our honor to compete to try to represent the United States of America.
For this Olympics, sustainability and keeping costs down have become a big focus in choosing the host site. City leaders say UCLA and USC already offer Olympic world-class sports amenities as well as much of the housing needed.
The Olympics need to be able to be sustainable both from an environmental and a fiscal standpoint for the next generation and the next century to come. That is what this is.
The LA City Council is set to vote on the Olympic plan on February 5th. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The International Olympic Committee will pick the host city for the 2024 Olympics in September of 2017. While the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers began their latest mission to improve the LA River's capability to handle storm flows during this El Niño winter. Rasha Goel has more.
These 3-foot-high sand barriers were recently put up along a portion of the LA River to reduce the risk of flooding during the rainy season.
And we're doing that by increasing the capacity of the channel with these HASCO barriers.
The project is focused on the stretch alongside the Golden State 5 freeway through Atwater Village, where river bottom vegetation growth has cut the capacity of the river nearly in half. But the Army Corps is trying to fix that.
We plan to increase it to about 2/3 to 3/4 of its original design capacity with this project.
Some residents say as long as it's temporary, they are okay with it. They don't want these barriers to be a permanent fixture.
Everyone around here needs access to the river, needs to be able to get down to the river. That's the whole point of a natural bottom like the one we are fortunate enough to have in this neighborhood.
Officials say even with the added protection, it is still possible intense prolonged rainfall could send river flow over the top of the barriers. The Corps is advising residents to consider flood insurance and to know their escape routes. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Officials say the barriers will be removed 60 days after the flood season is over. Well, it's a move aimed to make LA a greener place as the Screen Actors Guild Awards teams up with an environmental group to plant trees. The event inspired a red carpet, or should we say green carpet. Anna Marcos explains.
It has all the trappings of glitzy Hollywood, the media buzz, and the star power, as actress Katie Lowes from the TV show Scandal steps up for the cameras. But this event by the LA River is about something a little greener.
It's important to us to offset our carbon footprint.
The SAG Awards show is known for its yearly ceremony that honors top actors in TV and film and which helps open the Oscar season. But now the show's committee has teamed up with American Forests, a nonprofit environmental group.
Working together with partners like the SAG Awards, we will help to cool the planet, make our water and air cleaner, and slow the progression of climate change.
First on the agenda, planting this symbolic tree near the LA River.
Each of us and every industry has to address the issue of taking care of our planet.
We have 116,000 members who are voting on the SAG Awards this year, and rather than sending big heavy paper ballots, we sent a postcard and our members are voting online. We saved something in the neighborhood of 4 tons of paper.
I mean, look, we live in this awesome city that needs help and it needs restoration.
But this tree is only the beginning. The new partnership will help plant 1,250 trees in fire-damaged areas of the Angeles National Forest. Even LA City leaders took time out to hobnob with the stars.
You film Scandal in City Hall on occasion. And you use our hearing room, which I love. My office is right behind the hearing room. Okay, so come by and say hello. Okay.
As for Lowes, she's now off to work on the set of Scandal, and she's looking forward to the SAG Awards show.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm so psyched to be going. I've never gone before. I have to go get fitted.
It seems Tinseltown glitz and a greener planet can go hand in hand with the planting of a tree. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The group American Forests has so far planted 50 million trees. While some of the top local science students rack their brains in preparation for lightning round competition, LA Science Bowl championships are fast approaching. Gil Reyes reports from the practice sessions.
From what chamber of the human heart does blood carried by the pulmonary artery leave?
Over 200 students blinding me with science.
Interrupting captain. Why? Why is correct. 4 points for Team B.
Such intensity, and this is just practice. The high school students are training for the upcoming Regional Science Bowl Championships at LADWP headquarters and auditorium.
Oh, because I want to win.
49 teams from 26 different schools will go head-to-head. The winner will advance to the National Science Bowl competition in Washington, D.C.
Oh, it's an excellent competition. It's done in a great spirit of sportsmanship.
The students prepare hard for it. It encourages the students to continue to study science.
The LA Department of Water and Power hosts the event every year. Part of the goal is to encourage young people to pursue careers in science and technology.
And we hope one day that they will work for DWP or for city government in engineering capacity or IT.
Well, the subjects I like to study are chemistry and physics.
I like numbers. I like working with numbers, and all those formulas and equations are interesting.
We've been studying a lot, trying really hard.
They'll need all the brain power they can muster when the real contest kicks off on Saturday, February 20th. At the LADWP headquarters, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
North Hollywood High School will enter the contest as the favorite, having won 16 of the last 18 Science Bowl competitions. While Amnesty for people with overdue library books. Return them within the next 2 weeks and have all past fines waived. And it doesn't matter how long the book you borrowed has been missing. Gil Reyes has more from the Central Library. Gil.
Yeah, Yana, this is one of the funniest, quirkiest stories I've ever had the pleasure of covering here at LA This Week, because simply it doesn't matter. 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years, or 40 years, you can have your fines stricken from the record books, but you have to act now.
Perhaps you've been guilty in the past of a long overdue library book. So how overdue was yours?
Oh, it was about months.
It was a few years.
I think I ended up paying about $25 or $30.
But now, amnesty for those who've checked out library books and never returned them. All fines will be forgiven if you return the book to any city library branch on or before Valentine's Day, February 14th.
No questions asked, all fines waived. Really interested in getting those materials back on the shelf so that people across the city can enjoy them again.
If I checked out a book here when I was in 7th grade, let's say.
Bring it back. We'll smile and welcome it back and put it up on the shelf and waive your fines.
John Sabo, LA City librarian, hopes the program will reunite 133,000 overdue books to LA City Library shelves. Many of the books with the old classic card pockets still inside, missing after all these decades.
And who knows what we might get back. We might get some very interesting materials like the book you checked out when you were in the 7th grade.
Sabo also hopes to reintroduce people scared off by late fees to an updated public library system, one that also offers e-books, streaming films, and citizenship materials.
It's going to bring a lot of people back.
Do you have any overdue books right now?
No.
Well, in case you do, better act fast. The LA City Library plans to close the books on the Amnesty program for good within a couple of weeks.
Anybody has overdue books, hey, just bring them in. There you go.
Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Now, you only have till February 14th to return books. Do so at any of the 73 LA City Library branches. Well, it's countdown time as city leaders get ready to demolish a beloved LA landmark, the 6th Street Bridge. City leaders screened a new documentary which takes a look at LA's most iconic bridges. Anna Marcos has more.
The city of LA has turned movie maker. The premiere screening of its new documentary, Bridging Los Angeles, brought out the crowds as the city gets ready to demolish one of its iconic gems, the 6th Street Bridge, to make room for a newer, safer replacement. City engineer Gary Lee Moore was executive producer for the project.
You know, the 6th Street Bridge, the 6th Street Viaduct, it is history. And unfortunately, it's sick. So we have to replace that bridge.
As a kid, I used to ride my bike over that bridge practically every day. When I was told that it had to be taken down, my initial reaction was, no, we're not going to take it down.
Bridges are our monuments in public works, and it hurts me to see that we would let this bridge go.
But city leaders finally made their peace with letting the bridge go. Late last year, they said goodbye with a huge party that drew more than 10,000 people. Bridge fans got a sneak peek at models of what the future bridge will look like. And now this documentary will serve as one last parting gift for a bridge that helped LA grow and served as a backdrop for many Hollywood movies. The documentary also highlights LA's other bridges.
Really, our main objective was to bring people back to the river, bring people back to the bridges. Many people we've spoken to over the years didn't even realize there was a river or that these bridges existed.
Demolition on the 6th Street Bridge begins this week. The new replacement could be completed in 2019. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The entire demolition project is expected to last about 9 months. And in preparation for the demolition, officials will be closing a portion of a major freeway. The LA City Council outlaws chewing tobacco in all LA area ballparks, and you may soon be paying more for parking at Griffith Park. All these stories and more in CityBeat. As demolition of the 6th Street Bridge gets underway, a 2.5-mile segment of the 101 freeway will be closed to traffic from the Santa Monica Freeway split to the interchange of the Golden State, 10, and 101 freeways south of downtown Los Angeles, starting on Friday, February 5 at 10 p.m. until Sunday, February 7th at 2 p.m. Mayor Eric Garcetti encouraged drivers to plan ahead and follow detour signs.
While I'm well aware that the closure will cause delays for all of us, believe me, it will be worth it in the long term.
The Los Angeles City Council approved an ordinance banning the use of chewing tobacco at all baseball fields and other athletic venues in the city of Los Angeles. Officials say the move sets the right example for America's youth and for the health of the players. The Los Angeles Dodgers have publicly supported the City Council's efforts to eliminate smokeless tobacco use, and the new ordinance will be in effect before the 2016 baseball season gets underway at Dodger Stadium, where the ban covers players, team staff, personnel, and fans alike. The ordinance was spearheaded through legislation introduced in June by Councilmember Jose Huizar with the support of Council members David Rue, Mitchell Farrell, and Paul Koretz, as well as public health advocates. The LA City Department of Recreation and Parks is considering a new metered parking plan at Griffith Park aimed at improving pedestrian cycling paths, reducing congestion, and improving traffic flow. Officials want to convert some 400 parking spaces near the Griffith Observatory into metered parking. Another 581 spaces at the park would remain free. Proceeds from the parking fees would be used to finance free shuttle service to take visitors to popular destinations around the park, including the observatory and a spot for viewing the Hollywood sign. The Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles, a leading provider of free legal services for low-income residents, recently held a groundbreaking ceremony for its new headquarters, a 4-story building in Pico Union. Officials say the building is 4 years in the making. The total cost is expected to be nearly $18 million, of which $15 million in private funds has been raised so far. Construction is expected to be completed in 2017. A new airline joins the LAX family. Rasha Goel has more on how this new route is the first of its kind.
LAX recently welcomed the first nonstop service between Los Angeles and central China, celebrating Hainan Airlines' first flight from Changsha, the capital of Hunan province.
We have met our strategic objective of getting a direct non-stop service to secondary markets in China. That's very important to us.
The new route establishes Hainan's 6th gateway to the United States.
This is the right year to start this route. President Xi Jinping of China and President Barack Obama of the United States have decreed this the year of tourism, and we expect to have a tremendous amount of people going back and forth, tourists, students, business people, lots of stuff.
Hainan Airlines coming to LAX is a win-win for both China and the U.S. It will strengthen the economy along with tourism. Los Angeles is a huge tourist spot, but Changsha of the Hunan province is also known for world-renowned food and its rich history.
Last year, China surpassed Canada as the #1 international market for us, with 779,000 visitors coming to LA.
The total visitation from the United States to China last year reached nearly 2.1 million. And according to U.S. Travel Association, the visitation from China to the United States last year reached 2.5 billion.
Hainan offers the most nonstop Dreamliner routes between China and North America.
We are already quite famous for the in-flight service. We are rated as the best airlines in China for 4 years consecutively by Global Traveler in U.S.
Hainan Airlines is known for its elite customer service, joining with LAX to provide the very best for world travelers. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The nonstop flight from Los Angeles to Changsha will be around 14 hours. Well, basketball heroes score points with area students during a recent campus cleanup. Gil Reyes has more from Watts.
Let's go, Clippers! Let's go! Let's go, Clippers! Let's go!
A pair of Los Angeles Clippers proved to be champions for children off the court.
Nothing feels better than when you can help another kid out succeed, education-wise. We got some learning games for y'all.
LA Clippers Paul Pierce and Cole Aldrich take time out of their busy schedules to help renovate 109th Street Elementary School in Watts. This mural painting is part of City Year's Day of Service. City Year provides mentoring to underserved youth nationwide. The group has also partnered with the LA Clippers Foundation to purchase new school supplies and unveil a refurbished computer lab on campus.
I wish I had, this type of computer skills or a computer in my school. First time I ever got on a computer was in college, so, these kids are way ahead of the game.
Paul Pierce had played basketball at nearby Inglewood High School before making it big. He says pro athletes should take more active roles in mentoring or helping to improve the education of tomorrow's leaders. The school receives 31 new computers as part of the Clippers City Year partnership. At City Year's Day of Service in Watts, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
109th Street is one of 5 schools in Watts that the Clippers are sponsoring through City Year. Well, according to the LA County Economic Development Corporation, Los Angeles is now the leading center for technology jobs and growth in the United States. Rich Samuels reports on the rapid growth of one tech industry that's a perfect fit for LA: virtual reality.
VRLA is held twice a year here at the LA Convention Center, and judging by the crowds, this is an industry that's growing by leaps and bounds.
Do you think you want to work in virtual reality one day?
Yes.
What began just a few short years ago as a small meetup among like-minded friends is now the place to go to get in on the action on a technology that promises to revolutionize entertainment, education, and personal expression.
This is Hollywood. This is where we make movies. This is where we're going to make VR. It's the home of content.
Virtual reality is projected to be a $4 billion industry in just a few years. Attendees at the conference aren't just there to explore the technology. They're looking for opportunity.
I'm here because I work in the film industry and am very interested in learning about virtual and augmented reality. It's not very often that an entirely new medium is born, and we're at the early days of that, so I'm trying to soak up as much as I can.
It's a very exciting time. A lot of new things are happening in the game space, of course, but also outside of that.
We put trackers on your head so you have full positional tracking along with the orientation, and most importantly, we give you your hands. These things just mushroom, they grow, and 2-3 years later, here we are in the LA Convention Center with VRLA, and it's pretty exciting.
Here in LA, there's a lot of passion, both on the game side and then from the film industry as well. There's a ton of VFX companies looking at VR.
You can fly with a unicorn, you can race a car, and you can catch bandits.
There's only one place where tech and storytelling expertise converge: Los Angeles. This is Rich Samuels for LA This Week.
Developing LA's tech scene in the city has been one of LA Mayor Eric Garcetti's top priorities. Well, people living in Glassell Park are enjoying healthier air and more shade, thanks to beautification along a busy corridor. Gil Reyes shows us.
The northeast community of Glassell Park has gotten much greener over the past several months, recently planting its 140th new tree.
We're removing thousands of square feet of concrete just through these cuts to plant the trees. Los Angeles is one of the most concretized cities in the world. So anytime we can remove a little piece of concrete and replace it with a tree or greenery, then that's a step in the right direction.
70 trees planted last summer. The last of an additional 70 were planted this winter. Glassell Park Area Councilman Mitch O'Farrell proud of the sweet shades, eastern red buds, and fern pines now beautifying San Fernando Road near schools and businesses. They're part of the city's Water Relief program, which aims to green main corridors across Los Angeles. In Glassell Park, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Now, those trees are now beautifying a commercial corridor between the 2 Freeway and Glendale Avenue. Well, here's your chance to indulge your sweet tooth, get a behind-the-scenes look at making that perfect cup of joe, and marking the Year of the Monkey. All this in this week's Things to Do. Dubbed the West Coast's biggest baking and pastry convention, the second annual LA Cookie Con and Sweet Show is coming to the Los Angeles Convention Center. Due to its popularity, they expanded it to 2 days. That means 2 days of seeing, sampling, and creating delicious treats. The convention will take place on Saturday, February 6th and Sunday, February 7th. Get your taste buds and sweet tooths ready for one sweet event. The convention will have celebrity chefs, special guests, a kids zone, baking workshops, a diverse array of free samples, and a baking contest. For more information, visit lacookiecon.com. And what goes better with cookies than some smooth and delicious coffee? Why not take a walking coffee tour of downtown LA on Saturday, February 6th from 12 to 2 p.m. Hosted by besttours.com, the tour features visits to some of downtown LA's best coffee spots, with tasting included, barista demonstrations on how to make scrumptious coffee, commentary on coffee's history, and sightseeing opportunities around downtown Los Angeles. For more information, visit besttours.com. Celebrate the Year of the Monkey by visiting the Xuantian Temple in LA's Chinatown. The monkey is 9th of the 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac. Each year is related to an animal sign according to the 12-year cycle. On Sunday, February 7th, from 10 to 12 a.m., celebrate with a midnight temple ceremony. LA's Chinatown community gathers to welcome good health, prosperity, and harmony for the Year of the Monkey. People will gather at the Xuantian Temple to make offerings, set off firecrackers, and burn incense to usher in good fortune for the new year. Participants include lion dancers, Buddhist monks, and many others. This tradition takes place on the eve of Chinese New Year's Day. For more information, visit ChinatownLA.com. And that's a look at some things to do. And a reminder for those of you who have an overdue City of LA library book. As we reported earlier in the show, you can return any undamaged book, DVD, or tape to any City of LA library and have all those late fees and past fines waived. And if you have a suspended library card, get that restored too. But you have to act fast. The program is only on from February 1st to the 14th. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.